All right. Hi, welcome to Origin Stories Scientific Saturdays. Uh, we have Ani Manjikian here, and how about you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I'm a computer jockey.
Okay.
I I do when I'm not writing. I'm doing website design, WordPress, all that good stuff. So I've been writing for a really long time. Um, it just kind of life got in the way and stuff like that.
hmm So, in Spirit of the Lone Horse, how closely did you follow scientific laws?
I kind of bent it in the science fiction areas, but I tried to be 90% of it. I would say is like you could walk into the environment and actually have it be believable.
Okay.
Of course, I could bend stuff for the science fiction part of it, but the rest of it was, I made sure that everything was precise because I didn't want people coming back and saying, "Oh, this is too shallow," or "Oh, this is not realistic."
hmm So, what what originally inspired you to write this story?
Well, there was two things. The original idea of writing the story came from the fact that at the time, this was back in the 1980s, I didn't think there was enough horse books,
Mm,
and I wanted a horse book. I mean, I loved the Black Stallion as a kid. I loved, Black Beauty and all the good horse books. So I just wanted a horse book. And then what happened is the story evolved, and suddenly I had a series on my hands.
hmm
Well, as I said, that was the 1980s. Then I've been working on, been working on various versions of it. Thought I had a book I was going to publish, but then somebody read it and said, "Sorry, it's too. I don't know what's going on. I don't know the characters. I don't know anything." So I'm like, okay, let me go back to this one story that I wrote when I didn't know how to write and revise it, and that's what I did. And so from like 2013, 2012, 2013, I worked on it to bring it up to publishing in 2015. Now, the story itself is based upon the fact that I used to have a pinto pony named
hmm
JP, and he was a spooky horse. He along with his patches. So basically, he would either be a good horse or a bad horse. And when he was a bad horse, he was a really bad horse. He'd throw me, he'd spook at the littlest thing and throw me. So it ended up that I didn't want to ride above a trot. So when it came time to write my horse story, I'm like, okay, I don't want to ride above a trot, or I overcame the fear of riding above a trot. I need something more dramatic. Why don't we have a horse attack? Why don't we have a horse attack a human? So that's how the that's how that's how the story got started. And then chapter 8 in the book is actually, though it's dramatized, some of the thoughts were actually mine when I did my first ride, trying to overcome my fear of riding above a trot.
Mm, cool. So, why did you choose this particular title for this story?
Um, you you remember the scene in the Black Stallion where he's standing on the cliff and the horse is looking down on the ocean, and
I think so.
you feel the power of the horse. I mean, you feel that majesty. You feel the um, just his presence.
hmm
And so when I came up with the title, it's like I wanted to capture that moment. I wanted to capture the essence of a single horse looking over his domain, or protecting his herd, but also working with humans.
hmm
And essence sounded really stupid, so I went with spirit.
hmm
So spirit of the lone horse, being the lone horse is always alone, but at the same time they're part of the herd.
hmm So, What is the most endearing quirk of the main character?
Let's see. The most endearing quirk of the main character. Yeah. She has to. It's actually not a quirk in the story, but it's a quirk in the storytelling. She insists on being written in first person present.
Mm.
The only character. I mean, I've tried several times because I was like, reading all the writing stuff, going, you're not supposed to switch tenses, you're not supposed to switch point of views, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. And as much as I tried to put her in third person, I couldn't. The only time she can be in third person is if she's not herself or somebody else is describing her. Every
Mhm.
other time, she has to be first person present.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's fun when things like that happen though when you're writing because you're
Yeah.
like I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
um so why will we love Spirit of the Lone Horse?
Because it has something for everybody. I mean, yes, it's got a horse on the cover, so it seems like it's going to be predictable. It's not. Um, I mean, it's got science fiction, it's got mystery, it's got horses, it's got strong character relationships, it's got people actually going nuts a little bit. I mean, you have two characters who totally flip into two other characters.
Mhm.
So it was my statement book. I took every Amazon negative review and tried to answer it, and probably tripped myself up in doing so. But I tried to make a statement of a book that's like really broad category, really just tried to appeal to everybody.
Hmm. Well, it certainly sounds like an awesome read. So,
I do have to warn you, it's a very detailed read. I've had a couple of great reviews, where people have said they've had to turn off their brain because they
hmm.
couldn't have all the details. It's not meant to be a quick, oh, I'm just going to read this in 15-minute kind of book.
Hmm.
It's meant to be a savored book. It's meant to, you know, engage the reader for a longer term.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so where can people find the Spirit of the Lone Horse and connect with you online?
Well, you can find Spirit and the Lone Horse at Amazon. It's also on Barnes and Noble and Smashwords. The paperback's available only through and my publisher site of unsolicitedpress.com. The paperback is available at Amazon and Unsolicited Press. Everything else is ebook. And you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Stars of Heroes. Or you can also find me on Twitter at Lone Horse End.
Okay.
And
Thank
of
you.
course, sorry, let me interrupt. Of course, it has its own website, starsofheroes.com, and my blog, writethewriter.com.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.